Hello, everyone. Good morning or afternoon, depending on what time you have my class. So we are moving on from multiplying fractions and mixed numbers to dividing fractions. Now, I chose to do multiplying and dividing first because it's so much easier. I mean, honestly, not so much easier because adding and subtracting fractions is pretty easy too, but dividing fractions is no more difficult than multiplication. It's just a little extra step. So the first thing that we are going to do here is I need you to write down that this is lesson 4.2 and our title is dividing fractions. Our objective today is I can divide fractions. Pretty easy. We're not even going to do mixed numbers today. It's literally just dividing fractions. So in order to divide fractions, the first thing that we need to know is what a reciprocal is. So go ahead and pause and write this down if you need to. Well, probably need to because it's your notes. So a reciprocal are two numbers whose product is 1. So two numbers whose product is 1. Those are called reciprocals. So 3/4 and 4/3 are reciprocals because when you multiply them, you get 12/12, which is 1. So to find the denominator of a fraction, you switch the numerator and the denominator. So if I have the fraction 4/6, let's say, to find the reciprocal, I am just going to take this 4 and put it on the bottom, and this 6 and put it on the top. Those are reciprocals. The same thing works with a whole number. If I want a reciprocal of 10, I'd first have to make it a fraction by doing 10/1, and then I would just switch. And so the reciprocal of 10/1 is 1/10. If we have mixed numbers like 2 and 3/4, in order to find the reciprocal, we have to change it into an improper fraction first by doing a cartwheel. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. So I get 11/4. This is my improper fraction. To find the reciprocal, then I have to put my 11 on the bottom and my 4 on the top. And we're going to use this when it comes to dividing fractions. So 2/3 and 3/2 are reciprocals. So go ahead and pause and find the reciprocals of these three numbers. So 3/4 is super easy. We put the 4 on the top, the 3 on the bottom. The reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. 6 is a whole number, so we have to turn it into an improper fraction first, and then we can flip it over and we get 1/6. And then with mixed numbers, remember we have to do that cartwheel first. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, so I get 11/3. And then I can find the reciprocal by flipping it upside down. I think we're good with reciprocals. So when we actually divide fractions, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply a fraction by its reciprocal. So I actually can't divide fractions. So if I have 1/5 divided by 1/4, I actually can't do this. What I have to do is multiply by the reciprocal. So we always copy down our first fraction or keep it the same. Okay, so if I copy 1/5, I'm just going to bring it down. Then I change my division to multiplication. So I'm either going to put a dot there or I'm going to say the word change. So I copy, dot, and then I flip. And what flip means is I find the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/4 is 4/1. So what I've done is I've changed this division sign into, or this division problem into a multiplication problem. Now that I'm done with this, I can just multiply like normal. 1 times 4 is 4, 5 times 1 is 5. My answer is 4/5. So either copy, dot, flip. We copy it down, we dot, and we flip. Or we keep it the same, change it to multiplication, and then flip our second fraction. So whichever way you feel you'll remember more is what you're going to use. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get out your foldable. Okay, your foldable should look like this. We have already done multiply fractions and multiplied mixed numbers. We're going to fill out this divide fraction section right now. So open up that little door. And again, with multiplication and division, we do not get common denominators. We don't have to do anything with the common denominators. Then we always, if we see a divide and then we've got two fractions, we can't divide. We have to make it multiplication. So we keep, change, flip, or copy dot flip, whichever you feel you'll remember more, and then multiply. So we keep our first one the same. We always keep that first one the same. Then we change division to multiplication, and we flip this to find the reciprocal. Then when it says multiply here, remember that this means that we have to cross simplify first. I guess that's right here. Okay, so we have to, if we can, cross simplify before we can actually multiply, and we can cross simplify here. So remember, 3 and 9, my greatest common factor is 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then 8 and 12, my GCF is 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then I can multiply the numerator by the numerator and multiply the denominator by the denominator. So everything from here down is multiplication. This is the only thing that's really division up here, is this keep, change, flip. We should already know how to do this. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now remember, just because we cross simplified doesn't mean that we won't have to again. This is a prime example, okay? If I have 3/6, I can divide the top and the bottom by a GCF. The GCF of 3 and 6 is 3. So I'm going to divide by 3 on the top, divide by 3 on the bottom, and I get 1/2. So that is actually my answer, is 1/2. Remember to pause at any point that you need to rewatch or take notes to fill out your foldable. So we're going to do a couple of practice problems here. First, I want you to start with 10. Go ahead and pause it and try it. So the first thing we do is we copy dot flip, or keep, change, flip. We keep our first fraction the same, change to multiplication, and find the reciprocal. Now we have a multiplication problem, so we know how to do this. I'm going to cross simplify. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 9 and 2 can't be cross simplified, so they say the same. 9 times 1 is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. Now this one can be simplified because the top is bigger than the bottom, so it's an improper fraction. We do this by dividing. I say 4 can go into 9 2 whole times. 4 times 2 is 8, so that would leave me 1 more to get to 9, and my denominator is 4. If we can't remember how to do that in our heads, remember it's just simply division. I'm doing 9 divided by 4. So 9 goes in my house, 4 goes outside, 4 goes into 9 2 whole times. I get 8, so I have a remainder of 1. 2 becomes my whole number. My remainder becomes my numerator. Go ahead and pause and try this problem. Okay, so again, the first thing, because I see that it's a fraction divided by a fraction, I have to copy dot flip first. So I copy down my first fraction, I change my division to multiplication, and I flip my second fraction. Now that I have a multiplication problem, I should know how to do this. So I'm going to cross simplify. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. This way, 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And then I multiply. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. I can simplify this. So 2 goes into 3 one whole time. 1 times 2 is 2. So I need 1 more to get to 3. So I get 1 1/2 as my answer. When it comes to story problems, I do want to do one of these really fast. We need to make sure that if we're adding or multiplying, our product is going to be getting bigger, okay? Our answer is going to be getting bigger. If we're dividing or subtracting, we're going to start with the biggest and make it smaller. So if I have 1/2 foot pieces cut from a 7 foot piece, this means that I have a total of 7 feet here, right? And I need to figure out if this is 1, Okay, that's 1 foot. I'm getting 2 half-foot pieces here. So I am dividing this 7-piece board up into half-foot pieces. So I'm going to do this by saying that 7 feet is getting divided by 1/2. We have to make sure that we know what our total is because our total is listed first. Just because 1/2 comes first doesn't mean that it's first in my problem. Okay, so when we're actually doing our work, we have to make sure that we're understanding here. So again, this would be 7/1 because I have to have fractions. They either have to be regular fractions or improper fractions. And then I'm going to copy, dot, flip. I can't cross simplify, so 7 times 2 is 14 over 1. Any number over 1 is a whole number. Remember when we're doing story problems that we have to have labels. So it'd be 14 pieces of wood. So let's look at this one. Each package of dried fruit contains 3/16 of a pound. Mr. Lopez has 4 pounds of dried fruit. How many packages can he fill? So we ask ourselves, what is Mr. Lopez dividing up, right? He has 4 pounds of dried fruit. Now he wants to take that 4 pounds and he wants to divide them up into packages that contain 3/16 of a pound. And I want to know how many of those packages can he make. So what's actually being divided up is this 4 pounds. So I'm doing 4 pounds divided into 3/16 of a pound. So again, this has to be over 1. We can't divide a whole number. So I keep, change, flip, and now I actually can't cross simplify. So I have to go straight across the top and straight across the bottom. I know 1 times 3 is 3. Now 4 times 16, I would do 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 plus 40 is 64. And now I have to actually simplify this, right? It's improper, so I have to turn it into a mixed number. So I would divide. If I need to, I'm going to come over to the side. I'm going to say 64 divided by 3. 3 goes into 6 twice. I subtract and get 0. I bring down my 4. 3 goes into 4 one time. And I get a remainder of 1. So this becomes 21 is my whole number. My remainder goes on top, and my denominator stays the same. So what this means is that I have 21 full packages and then just 1/3 of a 22nd package. Go ahead and pause the video and try this. Oops. This one on your own. So the problem says 1 inch is 1/12 of a foot. Eunice has a puppy that is 3/4 of a foot tall. How many inches tall is her puppy? So what we have to do is we have to divide this 3/4 of a foot divided by 1/12 of a foot. So we keep, change, flip. It's very important that we rewrite our problem. Okay, don't just change it right up here, rewrite it. Cross simplify, 4 divided by 4 is 1, 12 divided by 4 is 3. And we multiply 9/1, which is the same as 9, which means that the puppy is 9 inches tall. Okay, so your homework assignment is on page 88 and 89. Okay, you need to do 1 through 7 all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 13 and 14. So that's 7, 8, 9 problems. It's not a ton. Okay, I will come up and go over some problems. Make sure that you ask if you need help. Good work today, 6th graders. Way to be.